Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal. I review nootropics, and during this video I'm going to share with you 3 lion's mane nootropic stacks. So a very common question people ask is, Michael, what nootropics can I use alongside lion's mane in order for improving productivity, decreasing stress, being more present? That's what we're going to cover. If you've not tried lion's mane yet, what you should know is that this is one of the best nootropics specifically for learning. You will find that after ingesting lion's mane for about a week or so, you will seem to be more curious about everything. You'll find yourself interested in people, interested in particular subjects that you weren't interested in prior. So it can often be used not only for productivity, but also to help you if you're, for example, not in a good place of your life and you want to get out of that and get into some momentum with work or with relationships. And I'm going to share with you 3 nootropic stacks that have been very effective for me while using lion's mane. So the first lion's mane nootropic stack is for productivity. The second lion's mane nootropic stack is for energy. And then the third is for stress and anxiety. Let's go ahead and jump right into the first one for productivity. And this is a pretty simple nootropic stack. It just consists of piracetam along with lion's mane. This is the 8-to-1 mushroom extract. It's the dual extract you can find from Nootropics Depot. As a matter of fact, all 3 nootropic stacks do have this same form of lion's mane, and I would really recommend that if you've only tried like the 1-to-1, give a shot to taking the 8-to-1 extract, because what's so is the other forms of lion's mane, the 1-to-1, typically they will give you the health benefits, but you won't get the cognitive benefits and the noticeable cognitive benefits that you'll get from taking the 8-to-1. So that's the lion's mane, and then we have piracetam. Piracetam is a great nootropic specifically for focus, for productivity. Many users find that when they are ingesting piracetam, it becomes very easy to like zone into those high priority tasks, like those few tasks that if you complete during the course of the day, you finish the day feeling like you had a good, productive day. So I like that piracetam keeps me zoned in. It does seem to help with sleep and seems to help with energy at the same time. But note that one of the major problems when you're using piracetam is that you very often feel irritable. You seem to be irritable in social situations. You find like you have a very short temper. So alongside lion's mane, you'll find that you're more present, you're a little bit less attached to the outcome, you feel pretty calm, kind of similar to how you feel like when you're taking ashwagandha. So I prefer taking piracetam. Many other users like using aniracetam along with lion's mane. Aniracetam being a great nootropic specifically for social skills and for verbal fluency. You will still get that benefit with piracetam, but you may want to consider using aniracetam if your goal really is to be better, when it comes to your social skills. But piracetam, I like that it's a very well-rounded, versatile nootropic that you can use whether you're doing independent work or if you're doing work in groups. And you'll as well find that with piracetam, learning becomes a lot easier. Like I used piracetam very successfully in my days when I was in college. It seemed like I was learning things quicker, I was getting through material faster, and then my grades actually did improve thanks to the use of this. So if you are going to consider using lion's mane and piracetam together, the way that I would recommend taking it is taking 300 to 500 milligrams of lion's mane twice a day, along with taking 800 milligrams of piracetam with that serving. Note, with piracetam, it's really important to get choline in your diet as you're using piracetam, as you will get all the benefits and extract them from piracetam. So if you're not eating egg yolks occasionally, then I would highly recommend that you supplement with choline, which I've talked about in this piracetam video over here. Definitely give that a watch, as piracetam can be considered to be one of those nootropics that you should kind of study and understand before you go ahead and you consume it. And it's not one of those supplements that you will feel straight away. You need to give it at least a couple of weeks in order for you to notice the benefits, but afterwards you will definitely find like you're sharper, your word recall is better, and you seem to be a lot more productive. Now let's talk about the lion's mane nootropic stack for energy levels and boosting your energy levels throughout the course of the day. And that would be taking lion's mane alongside with taking, very simple, caffeine, or you can as well use coffee. Many people wonder, should I be using it along with caffeine and L-Theanine, which is a very popular nootropic supplement, caffeine and L-Theanine, of course, for productivity? My answer would be no. You're going to be better off omitting the L-Theanine. Just take straight caffeine, because L-Theanine can be a little bit demotivating when you take it. You often feel tired, you often feel lethargic, and some users of lion's mane actually do report that they feel less ambitious. So you wouldn't want to take anything else that could as well contribute to you not being as productive and having a high work ethic. So I like taking a lion's mane along with caffeine twice a day typically, so I would use it once pre-workout, and then sometimes, depending on the day, depending on my energy levels, I would take it once again in the afternoon or maybe early evening. Like my cutoff time of using caffeine is something like 4 or 5 p.m. because we of course don't want it to interfere with sleep, and I love caffeine, especially with productivity, but it's going to depend on the work that you do. Because if we look at examine.com and we look at some of the research behind caffeine, what we can see is that there's research showing it can help with anaerobic running capacity. It can help with power output for those of you that weight train, again with aerobic exercise. It does, however, slightly increase cortisol, but something I like about caffeine as well, it increases fat oxidation, which makes it easier for fat cells to get in the bloodstream and to be used as fuel. Now, where lion's mane comes handy, not only pre-workout, if you were to use it that way, but as well, complemented with caffeine, you'll find that you are not experiencing like the jitters and the uneasiness that you can sometimes find with caffeine. Like this nootropic stack itself has been an absolute money maker for me. I wouldn't recommend you use it all the time, but for those of you that are used to ingesting a lot of coffee or caffeine, you definitely do want to consider taking these two together. And the way that I would use them is I would take 500 milligrams of lion's mane along with 100 milligrams of caffeine. If you are somebody who is used to taking more caffeine, then I would strongly recommend you to consider spreading out your caffeine use throughout the course of the day. And research shows that if you're going to use caffeine, you're going to be better off getting the cognitive benefits if you spread your caffeine use throughout the course of the day versus having it all at one. And what's good about that as well is that you won't get like a horrible crash. Sometimes I take a pre-workout supplement which has about 300 milligrams of caffeine, and about 4 hours later, I do not want to do any work and my mood is absolutely awful. So this nice tweak allows you to get the most out of your caffeine, and the lion's mane will help you to be productive, at the same time be present and connect with people. And we're on to the third nootropic stack, which is for stress and anxiety, and I absolutely love this nootropic stack. I mean, if you have a friend that doesn't believe in nootropics, like just give them this stack and they will be convinced because it is very powerful. It does consist of 3 nootropics. So of course, first we've got lion's mane, then we have Bacopa monnieri. This is the synapsa form. And then we have ashwagandha. My preferred form of taking ashwagandha is the KSM 66. This is a good extract. It as well helps you to be somewhat productive while using ashwagandha for the benefits of getting like a decreased cortisol level. With ashwagandha, one of the biggest problems that I have with it is I don't really feel smarter. I don't feel more effective. I don't feel like socially sharper, but I do like that I definitely feel more present, and it seems like at the end of the workday, I'm feeling a little bit more fulfilled and I'm looking forward to the next day at work. Like typical stressors during the course of the day, they don't seem to bother me as much. And Bacopa is a nootropic that I've been using for about 7 years. I actually did come across Bacopa well before lion's mane, and that was because I was looking for something to help me with stress. And with Bacopa, this is an adaptogen, meaning it's a nootropic that's pretty much designed or used around helping you to have a better relationship to stress, having you decrease your stress levels, and will naturally allow you to be more present during the course of the day. You'll find yourself like you're not worrying as much. This is one of my favorite studies on Bacopa. It's called Efficacy of Standardized Extract of Bacopa monnieri on Cognitive Functions of Medical Students. And what's so unique about this study is that like there's a lot of nootropics out there that have shown to have memory benefits with elder people or with people with dementia, but with this study they were like, no, let's give Bacopa to smart people and see if it improves their memory even further. For 6 weeks, they took a number of the students and they divided them into 2 groups. One of the groups was taking placebo twice a day, and the other group was only taking 150 milligrams twice a day. And at the end of the study, they were tested in a variety of different ways. We can see here digit span memory task. There was a paired associate task. There was a logical memory test where they had to recall a specific story. And just to elaborate on the digit span memory task, it was just one of those tasks where you have to memorize a series of numbers. Like for those of you that have tried to remember pi, then you know what I mean. And they were tested, and the bottom line showed that Bacopa monnieri was very effective at improving the students' memories. If we look on Examine over here, we can see that clearly there was a decrease with anxiety. There was a decrease of markers of depression, as well improvement of working memory, increase of alertness, and decreased anhedonia. Anhedonia is huge. That basically means like a loss of interest with things. So you can almost make the argument that Bacopa acts somewhat as an antidepressant or as antidepressant effects, similar to how lion's mane does. Here's how to take these 3 nootropics together. Of course, if you have the bottles, look at the supplement facts, look at the instructions of how to take them, and I would say follow that twice per day. So in this case, all 3 of these are from Nootropics Depot. However, with the ashwagandha and with the Bacopa, I've not really found that the brand really matters too much. You can get that from somewhere else. But here what that looks like is taking 300 milligrams of ashwagandha, 320 milligrams of the Bacopa, and then taking 500 milligrams of the lion's mane. And you would want to consider taking that twice per day. You can, of course, start off on the safer side, either at a lower dose or taking it at 1 serving per day. It doesn't matter too much whether or not you have it with the meal. Be mindful that for most users anyway, you should have to wait at least 4 or 5 days in order for you to start seeing the benefits. There are some people like myself who are more sensitive to nootropics and they'll notice the results instantly. So when you combine these 3 nootropics, it's safe to say that your baseline mood is going to be a little bit better, if not a lot better. However, keep in mind, these 3 nootropics are also known to have pretty bad side effects when it comes to work ethic. So think long and hard before you go ahead and you try these 3 together. Not only may they compromise productivity, but some users report that they actually hurt their libido levels. That hasn't been the case for me. I've not found these 3 nootropics to increase my libido or decrease my libido. However, this is something that is a pretty commonly reported phenomenon. And I hope you all did find this information helpful. If you did, then consider subscribing. Don't forget to drop a like. And if you'd like to chat with me one-on-one, I would love to speak with you. Message me on Discord or message me on Patreon. And be sure to tune into my future videos. And I thank you for your interest in nootropics.